Hello everybody, Nepkin99 here, and welcome back to the Pixelmon Let's Play series. I have been itching to get started with this episode, because today we are going to be making a full battling team. Now you may be asking, why do we need a battling team? We're in single player. We have no friends. Well, the answer to that is, we need to defeat those Mega Evolved bosses if we want to get any more Mega Stones. So to do that, we're going to need pretty decent battling team here. So I have 6 Pokemon I want to get for this team, as there are 6 Pokemon slots in your party. One of which we already have. We have not actually a max stat Mareep, but we have one that's missing a little bit of attack, which is fine because we're not going to be going for attack on it. So whichever one of these we decide is better, because we have 2 with 5 IVs that have natures that boost special attack but lower special defense. I think we do actually have some max stat ones, but they have really bad natures. Let's see if I can find them here. Yeah, here's our Ooh, and let's see. Yeah, he has a nature that reduces special attack, so we don't want that. We'd rather have the lower attack. I think one of these is only missing a few on attack, so even if we did want to go for physical moves, it wouldn't be too bad. So, since Ampharos is not really built for speed anyways, and we're going to be going against Mega Evolved bosses, which are going to be quite a few levels above us, we're going to go for the one that has the quiet nature since it reduces speed, because we don't really need that speed. So this will be our Mareep. We're just going to put it down here for now. One of the ones I wanted to start breeding, I have caught some Dinos and a Hydreigon while I was AFKing for Rayquaza and Jirachi last episode. So we actually got pretty lucky with some of these. We got quite a few of the different stats max. So like we have attack, we have special attack, we have defense, and we have speed. So we actually only have one male one, so we're going to use this one that has special attack, and we're going to use one that has attack. So I actually grabbed the wrong belt here. So we're going to put these two together for now. I need to put them back in my PC. So we'll have these two going, and eventually once these are done and have an offspring, hopefully we'll have a male, and then we can get a second step going over here, and we can have a third one over here. And I forgot to give them their items. So now we've got these two going like they should be. And one other thing we can do, so we are at the Mega Taiga by our jungle over there, and we are actually looking for a little spiky bean called Ferroseed. I believe it can spawn any time here. So it's actually not any time, it's just during the day, so we actually have our first one here. If you'll get in the ball. Got it. And we can't see the world. Help! Got another one over here, so these probably aren't too rare. I saw on Wiki that they're uncommon, so probably aren't too hard to get. So we'll go for a few of them here. Tiny Ferroseed. So we are back at base here. We got a bunch of Ferrothorns, we got some male ones, and we got some female ones, which will be important. So we actually need to get egg moves on these because we want Leech Seed and Toxic on our Ferrothorn, but he can't actually learn that on his own, so we have to breed it into him. So we actually only have a female Oddish, so we're going to have to breed with the male one. This one's going to take a couple go-throughs on the breeding here. So we'll breed these two together, get attack and defense going. Oh, wrong one. This place is just absolutely swarming with Pidovs. They're everywhere. So we'll get attack and defense going here, and as you can see, this Oddish knows Toxic, so there's a chance that that'll be passed down onto the baby that comes out of this, which will be another Oddish. So we're going to keep doing this until we get a male Oddish, and then we can breed it with a female Ferroseed, because breeding will always take the species of the female Pokemon. So we'll just have to keep going until we get a male Oddish to pass it over on. And then in this other one, we're going to be breeding a female Ferroseed with one of our Bulbasaur family here, because this one knows our Leech Seed that we want. So this one has special defense, and this Ferroseed has nothing. So we're just going to put a special defense band on our Venusaur here. And we'll put him in here, and then we'll put him in this breeding station. So when this one comes out, we should hopefully have a Ferroseed with Leech Seed. I don't think it's guaranteed that it passes down, but hopefully it will, so we will see when that comes out. So for our next Pokemon here, this is the first one we're actually going to have a full breeding read on. We're going to be training a Porygon 2. So we actually have a Porygon and a Porygon Z from our Ditto breeding. So we're going to breed these with Dittos, because these don't actually have a gender. So we've actually got a max IV on all of these. So we're probably going to breed this attack Ditto with our special attack Porygon, and we'll breed this special defense Ditto with our attack Porygon Z. These guys sound so weird. So the next Pokemon we want on our team is actually a fossil Pokemon, and not only that, we want the hidden ability on it. So to get that, we're going to have to do a lot of fossil restoring, which means we're going to need a lot of fossils. So we're going to be going for Amora. So we need the Sail Fossil, and I actually am trying something a little different with it. I've actually already done it, and I recorded like an hour of footage of it. So I'm going to try to put in a time lapse, and I hope it turns out alright. You guys let me know if you like it in the comments. And also keep an eye out for something interesting that we found during that time lapse. So we are back from our oceanic adventure here. As you can see, we ended up with a stack on 34 of the Sail Fossil, which is what this one is when it's cleaned. And if you didn't catch it in the time lapse, we actually found our tidal bell. So funny thing with this is that mine shaft I was in was underwater, and I was actually trying to find my way out and got lost when I ended up finding that dungeon. And then, as you can see, the drops were all over the ground, so I was kind of panicking, throwing stuff out of my inventory to pick it up. So we actually have both of our bells now, so we'll have to do something with those soon. But we ended up with quite a few fossils here. I went ahead and made 10 fossil machines, because we're going to have a lot of fossils to go through. And we're going to actually be doing these in Ultra Space after I clean them. So I'm going to clean these bits here, and I will see you guys in Ultra Space. So we are here in Ultra Space. And this is because I believe the 2x rate for hidden abilities should carry over into these fossil machines. So we're going to go ahead and put our first batch of fossils in here and see if we can get that hidden ability Amora. So unfortunately we did not get the hidden ability out of the fossils we had. So these are all the ones we got with max IVs. We ended up with 2 of them that had 2. And then these are all of the other fails, so went through quite a few fossils. I was kind of expecting to get it, because if the hidden ability thing works in Ultra Space in the fossil machines, then theoretically we should have gotten it. It would be a 1 in 75 chance, and we definitely did more than 75. But it looks like we're going to have to go out and get some more fossils, so I might do some of that off camera. In other news, the first batch of all of our other eggs are ready to be taken out and hatched. So from these eggs we got a dino with 2 max IVs, although I think we need males, so I don't think we can actually start another one yet. We did get a male oddish though, so we can replace the one in here and get this going to get the toxic onto the pharaoh seed instead. And our pharaoh seed from this one actually has a leech seed, so that one's ready to go. And then our 2 porygons both got the IVs transferred over, so we're going to switch those out and try to get even more IVs. So I just got done with another 2-hour run of fossil hunting. And I did my batch of eggs here. We got a male dino, so we're going to add another station over here. I realized that I actually messed up this oddish station because this oddish is level 1, which means it doesn't know toxic, which means it can't pass it down onto the pharaoh seed yet. So I need to actually take that out and level it up to level 24. That's when it learns toxic. Alright, so we've got our breeding stations all fixed up again, and we have now 71 more fossils to work with. So I'm going to head back to Ultra Space and see if we can get our hidden ability Amora. So we did our 71 Amora fossils, and we still do not have a hidden ability. So that may have to be one I try to get between episodes, because I need to get moving. So from our next batch of eggs, we actually got our toxic on one pharaoh seed and leech seed on the other, and they actually both happen to be a male and a female, so we can breed these 2 together now. So I'm going to take this oddish out of here, and the pharaoh seed with it. And we're going to give these guys some power items, get these 2 going, and probably get another pharaoh seed station set up as well. Little bit of an update here. We are now in 8.3, so this is now caught up with last video. I've been hatching more eggs here. We're getting a little bit closer. We got a dino here with 4 max IVs. Our Ferrothorn, I'm not sure which one it is. I might have already put it up front here. Oh, I think I put it over here actually. One of these ones. Yeah, I think this one. So like if we look here, so you can see it's got 4 max ones, and then it's got speed at 30. I think it's a fairly slow one anyways. And then 29 on special attack. But I don't think we're actually using special attack on this guy, because I think most of our moves just do a set amount of damage, or it's like a percentage of the enemy's health. So we don't necessarily need that. And if we do end up getting rid of Iron Defense and replace it with Iron Head, I believe, we would need regular attack. So I think it's safe to say we can be pretty much done with pharaoh seed. So I'm actually going to go ahead and move that up to our battlers one here with our Mareep. Porygon, I realized I can't actually do unless I'm very, very, very lucky, because we have to breed that with Ditto, so if we get better Porygons, that's only going to slightly increase our chance. And it's going to be a very slow process doing that until we get some max IV Dittos. So we're going to wait on that one, and we're also going to wait on Amora, because I need more fossils. We may be able to find them in the new dens, which could be nice. I think they have a slightly higher hidden ability rate in there. I imagine it probably spawns in cold biome dens, so we'll probably try those at some point. And I'm thinking we don't necessarily need a full team of 6, because my original plan was to defeat Mega Evolved bosses using these. But now I kind of want to use them to take on the new max raids. And we can only bring 1 into those, so Having 6 would be nice because it's a little more coverage. We have more situations we can use better Pokemon in, but that isn't entirely possible here since we made bad decisions. Speaking of making bad decisions, I almost had a very close encounter with death. I didn't have my screen recorder up to actually record it, but in the 8.3 update they also added the infinite ocean biome dimension thing, which I'm not sure what the whole purpose of. But basically I was in the village over there collecting quests, and one with a kind of bluish teal kind of kept mixing back and forth between them. Exclamation point came up to me and was like, hey, you want to explore this oceany biome? And I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. Maybe I'll pick up this quest and do it for an episode at some point. No, it sends you straight there, so don't accept that quest if you're not ready. Which I've been seeing a lot of the devs on the Reddit saying that people weren't prepared. Yeah, basically it's just all water. And my game crashed when I went there, so that kind of sucked. And I went back and yeah, I don't have my water stone armor on, so I started drowning. And I actually got down to 3 hearts, and this whole time I was swimming upwards because I figured it has to stop at build limit at least, and maybe able to poke my head out. Yeah, when I got to 3 hearts, it ended up teleporting me back to the overworld, so I somehow survived. I don't know if it like glitched or if you swim up enough it ends up taking you back. I'm not sure. I'll probably have to do some playing around with that in a different world because I don't want to lose all my stuff. Also in this time we have found, I believe, 4 new shinies. Or not new ones necessarily, but new since I've last shown you. We got this Glammeow, we got our 3rd shiny Hoot Hoot, we got our 3rd shiny Zubat, and we got our 1st shiny Squovit. So I think one thing we can do to speed up our dinos here a little bit is take advantage of the new catch combos. So I'm going to try going to our mountainous forest over here and see if we can catch some of those. They spawn there at night, so I don't know if we're really going to make it in time to catch that many, but we will try to catch a few at least. And see if we can get some with multiple max IVs, or at the very least some with the 2 that we're missing, because we still need special defense and HP. Okay, so I ended up catching 11 Dino. So the first 10 don't have any special boosts, but the 11th one should have had 2 max IVs. It only had 1, and it took forever. It took probably close to 3 hours just to get that many Dinos, so I'm just going to keep breeding the ones I have and hope we get lucky. I do have Ditto in this one with this 4 max IV one because this Ditto actually has special defense, so we can get that into the gene pool here. The only one we're going to be missing is HP. So for the last Pokemon on our team, we are actually in the jungle here because we want to catch a Tapu Lele, which is a legendary. So Tapu Lele spawns here at night, so we are going to be competing with Zarude, although I believe Tapu Lele has a higher chance of spawning. But just in case, we're going to remove some of these bigger trees around here anyways, because Zarude spawns on the tree tops, so that'll give him less space to spawn. And then when we do actually get Tapu Lele to spawn, wherever my PC is around here, I have a Ralts with Timid Nature and the Synchronize ability. So we're going to put that in our first spot. And we're going to initiate the battle with it. I can't remember which actually gets it to transfer. It's either if it's in our first spot or if we start the battle with it. So if we do both, we should be guaranteed. But basically what that does is, I believe it's a 50% chance that the nature will pass on. So That'll give us a pretty decent chance of our Tapu Lele having a good nature. So we're going to synchronize it with the timid nature with this Ralts. This basically increases our speed so we can get the hit we want to get off before we take damage, and since we don't really need attack, we can afford to lose that. So anyways, I'm going to clear some trees and wait for nighttime and see if we can get some Tapu Lele action. Well, we did too little too late because we just had a Zarude spawn. So we just had a Tapu Lele spawn, so let's see if we can find it. Here she is, let's get her before she suffocates. Alright, we did not come to this battle very prepared. We just had our Breloom for catching, and he died. We didn't have much else to tank, so we're just going to go ahead and Master Ball this one. And not only that, it had moves that healed itself and got rid of the Paralyze on it, so it was not looking very hard for us. So we got our Tapu Lele here, and it looks like we got the nature to sync. So we got the timid nature. Let's check the IVs. Ooh. So if this, yeah. So we want special attack on this, which this is really, really low, and we don't really need attack. So if those had been switched, then maybe. The defense is still pretty low, but it would have been better. So we're probably going to stay here for a little bit, see if we can get maybe another one. Worst case scenario, we can always get these to max level and use silver bottle caps to max the IVs that we don't get, but we will see. Looks like we just had our second Tapu Lele spawn, so let's see if I can find her. A little bit better prepared this time. We've got more catchers with us. And we got her in a dust ball. Awesome. What is that? Oh, okay. So let's check her out here. This one. So we got our special attack, we've got our speed, but we also want the HP. And again, we got attack, so not super the best here. Alrighty, so I have decided that we are just going to use the bottle cap on our Tapu Lele here. And I have also decided that we have a dino that's decent enough. I'm kind of tired of hatching eggs. So we're going to roll with it. It's pretty decent. Its HP is a little low, but it's got 4 maxes. It's got okay special defense. And then I'm also adding this Zacian to our team for now. A new one, because ours is kind of bad. But since Zacian's been fixed in this update, he's actually very, very good now. So this one has 4 max IVs, and attack is the big one here. Its speed is pretty good, its HP is alright. So we are going to use that one. I don't think its nature is like great, yeah. But out of all the Zacians we have, this is probably one of the better ones, because we actually haven't been very lucky with the IVs on a lot of these. So in terms of training these, we're going to be doing our EV training first so that they don't get all messed up from the Haunted Tower farm. So for our Dino here, we're going to be using attack and special attack since it has powerful moves for both. Our Mareep here, we're going to use special attack and then split the other half between defense and special defense. So that's a little bit more tanky. Ferrothorn, we're going to do HP and special defense. Makes it a little bit more tanky, so it can survive for our kind of cheese strat that we're doing with it. Tapu Lele, we're going to be doing HP and special attack. Zacian, we're going to be doing attack and speed. So I'm going to start with our Ferrothorn and our Tapu Lele here, so we can go for HP on both. So we're going to make them hold these so that they gain more HP, EVs, and I'll probably just do all the EV training off camera so you guys don't have to see. But yeah, so I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alrighty, so our team of 5 is pretty much done. I got a little lazy and just used candies to get the rest of their levels once I got them to around level 70 or so, because I figure we'd be getting a bunch from these raid dens anyways, so we can afford to use some. Last thing we have to do here is use these 2 silver bottle caps on our Tapu Lele. So we want to max her special attack and her defense, because those were the 2 low ones. Special defense is only 1 off, so we won't worry about that. So her IVs now should... yeah. So it still shows what the original ones were, because it doesn't actually change the IVs to that. It just changes it for battling purposes. So if you were to breed a Pokemon that had silver bottle caps used to get these things up, it would take the original defense of 3 and the original special attack of 8. In terms of strategy, I guess I'll just go down our list here. So our Hydreigon is holding a Dragon Fang, which will boost its Dragon type moves by 20%. So the moves we have on it are Outrage, because it's a very strong Dragon type move, so we get Stab, we get the boost from our item. It's got 120 power. Only downside is that we can't choose anything for the next 2 or 3 turns because it keeps using it, and then we become confused. But the plan with that is to hopefully just kill him at that point, because there's a lot of damage. We have Nasty Plot, which sharply raises our special attack, so I believe that means it raises it by 2 stages. Dragon Pulse, another dragon type move. It's a special move. A little bit lower than Outrage, but it's special, so it's a little bit of a different attack. So say we have something that has really high defense, we would want to use a special move instead. And then we have Crunch, which is a dark type move, which we also get Stab for, just to give us a little more coverage. Does decent damage, and may also lower the target's defense. For our Ampharos, we have it holding the Zoom Lens, which boosts its accuracy by 20% if it is moving after the opponent. So we have its speed on a low nature here, or we have a nature that lowers its speed. So it shouldn't be that high. So it should probably most likely be moving after something, so we should get that boost. And we're going to need that because Thunder only has 70 accuracy, but it's 110 power, special attack, and we also get Stab on it. We have Zap Cannon, which is even less accuracy, but even a little bit more powerful. So it's 120 power, only 50 accuracy, and it will also paralyze the opponent. So that's a pretty good move as well. And then we have Charge, which boosts the power of the next electric move we use. Well, if we use it on the next turn. And it also raises our special defense, so it makes us a little more tanky. And then we have Power Gem just for a little more coverage. So in case we're going against ground type, and this is our last Pokemon, we don't want to be left completely helpless. I don't think this will help too much against ground types in that situation, but it's just a different move we can learn. It has a decent amount of power. So this is a couple takes later on this Tapu Lele. I realized I misread this move several times on Wiki. I've looked at it multiple times. I don't know how I never caught this. It does damage equal to half the target's HP, not mine. I thought I was going to roll out here with my 172 power move. Yeah, that's not how the move works. So that's a little bit unfortunate. We will keep it though. I guess that kind of rules Tapunium Z out of the lineup, because this just boosts that move to 75% of the target's HP, which is still pretty good. But I thought it was ours again. And I believe that also kind of negates the point of this Choice Scarf, because then the Choice Scarf basically holds you to one move, so it's going to boost my speed. So ideally I'd be able to get the hit off before I took damage, but that's not how the move works. So we would actually never be able to kill a Pokemon using just that. I believe unless they got down to 1, but it would take a very long time. So I believe we're going to put the Terrain Extender on here. Its ability, Psychic Surge, turns the ground into Psychic Terrain, which basically gives us a 50% boost on Psychic type moves. So that'll help our Psyshock here do a quite a bit more damage since we're also Psychic type. Other than that, we have Moonblast, which is pretty powerful Fairy type move with 100% accuracy, and Draining Kiss, which a little bit lower damage, but it also gives us some of the health back. Our Ferrothorn is pretty cheesy, so the whole point of this Pokemon is basically poke damage. I don't think this will actually work in raids, because one, if we Dynamax it, all of our moves become max guard on this one. And two, I don't know if poisoning and stuff actually works on raid bosses. So its ability Iron Barbs inflicts damage to the attacker on contact, so if it hits us with a physical move, it'll take damage. We also have an item called Rocky Helmet, which does basically the same thing. So they'll take double damage from attacking us. And then our moves, we have Toxic to heavily poison it. We have a Leech Seed to drain a little bit of health from it every turn. We have Ingrain, which also drains health from it, but it doesn't do damage to them, where a Leech Seed does do damage to them. And then we have Iron Defense just to make ourselves a little bit more tanky so that we can survive. We got quite a bit of HP on this guy, pretty good defense and special defense as well. And then our last one here, Zacian. Of course, we're using the Rusted Sword, because that will change it to its more powerful form. So its ability, the usual one, increases its attack when it enters battle. And then for moves, we have Sacred Sword, which is fighting type, so we don't get stab on it, but it's a pretty powerful move, and the target's stat changes don't affect this attack's damage, as it says below. So if it's heavily raised its defense, we can use this and still do quite a bit of damage. Crunch, a little bit more coverage, may also lower their defense. Iron Head, this is the move that becomes Behemoth Blade when we switch into Crown Sword form. So this will actually have 100 power, and we'll also get stab on it because we also become Steel type. And then Moonblast, it's a special attack, and we didn't really focus on special attack, although we do have a nature that boosts it actually. But again, just a little bit more coverage, and since we get stab, it'll still be pretty powerful. And now that we've got our team ready, it's time to take on some raid dens. So the Mega Taiga we met by last episode is actually that way, but I realized there are actually a few unloaded chunks we didn't go to over this way, just in this desert over here. So we're gonna head over here, and this is probably where we're gonna actually end up taking some of the raid dens from to move to our Mew farm over there, because it's quite a bit closer. Should start seeing the raid dens any second now. Yeah, there's one. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, electric. I think that's a Kabuto. So we're gonna bring our Zacian for this one, because he's a rock type. We could actually go for our Ferrothorn. It's only a 2-star one, so we can try it out and see if our stuff actually works on him here. So let's see, we can actually Dynamax. I realized I couldn't Dynamax last episode because I didn't have my Dynamax band on. So yeah, that kind of puts a wrench in things. So I have it on now. We should be able to Dynamax for these fights. Okay, our teammates are just gonna kill it before we even do anything. We got an ability capsule, so that's pretty decent. And we won't catch it. Oh, I don't want to accidentally click a Master Ball on a Scorpy. That would be bad. Electivire is interesting. 5-star den. Don't know if we have anything super great for electric types. Our team comp overall here is not fantastic, but we'll just keep using different Pokemon, I guess. And we ended up beating it here, so we got some interesting drops here. Gold bottle cap. I don't know exactly what it does, but I know it's better than the silver bottle cap. It may max more than one IV. Let's actually try to catch this. Because why not? Okay. So we got a wishing piece from this one, so I believe we can use that to kind of force one of these dens to have something in it. I gotta put some drops away. So this golden bottle cap actually does max out every single IV on the Pokemon, so that's actually pretty good. We have 2 of them right now. Got a ranch upgrade from this one, so that's another good drop we can get from these. And that was just a 2-star Cheel raid, so not too hard to get, it seems. Well, I just failed a Samurott den because I got 2 Torque holes on my team against a Samurott, and Eevee kept using Helping Hand on them instead of my Ampharos, so that doesn't really work. And we just had a tornado spawn in a den in a plains biome, but I think they're about to reset. And it's probably far away, so I don't know if I'm going to make it quite in time. Yeah, I think dens are probably going to reset, so I don't know if we're going to get that Tornadus. Okay, now this is one we want to find. A Lugia in one of these. Hopefully it's one of these closer ones. I don't think it will be, though. We were flying in this direction, so perhaps it spawns somewhere out over here. So that'd be really awesome if we could get one of those. Is that a boss? Yes, it's a boss. Okay. Oh, that's the Lugia right there. We're going to catch this bad boy, as long as we can beat it. And not drown. Okay, I need to get on top of here, so I don't drown. Let's check our coordinates just in case. Alrighty, Psychic and Flying. So, we could probably use our Hydreigon here. Or we could use Ampharos. I did use some Dynamax Candy on Ampharos, so we're going to try that. Let's hope we can beat this so we can catch this guy. Because I would love to have 2 of these, since we have the Tidal Bell as well. One of the rules of raid battles is that you only have 10 turns to fully beat it. I think we're going to be ahead of that, with a few to spare, so we should be okay here. One more hit should do it. Awesome. We beat it. We get any cool drops? We got a silver bottle cap. Alright, let's go ahead and Master Ball this, because we are not letting that get away. And we got it. And for some reason our hunger is like draining during that fight. That was really weird. I was about to start starving to death. Here, we're not going to Master Ball this one, considering we already have a couple of these. And they're not too hard to get more of, so we will just use a Repeat Ball, see if we happen to get it. Nope. Zygarde? Where? I need to be quick, it's about to reset. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That one's it. Please don't reset, please don't reset. Dragon and Ground, go. Whew, that was a close one. So this is, it's dog form. I don't know what the different percentage things or whatever. I never knew too much about this Pokemon's different forms when they came out. And Master Ball. Maybe? Game? Why is it not working? Uh-oh. Is it because it reset while we're in here? Well, shoot. So even if we make it in time, it resets and we don't get to catch it. That kind of sucks. Well, about 2 seconds later, I was flying off in this direction, another one spawned, so we have another chance. And here it is. So let's see if we can beat this one and actually catch it this time. So we should hopefully be able to catch this one. There we go. Awesome. I mean, I think we have to see a Dynamax Whale Lord, don't we? We've got to at least look at it. Get our Ampharos in here. Let's see how big this guy is. Oh my god. I've been swallowed by the whale. You can see my little foot poking out there. So we are back at base here. Well, not really at base, but we're at the new Mew farm. So this is what we got from our adventure. These are the berries we got. These are all the TRs we got. Quite a few, actually. We got a bunch of one-use items here, including 3 gold bottle caps and a silver one. So that's pretty good. And then these are just some other items we got. The ranch upgrade's pretty good here. Some of these we actually got from like hidden grottos and stuff, so not actually as drop things, but like we got this GS ball as a drop. I believe I've read on Reddit that you can also get Azure flutes as drops, so be on the lookout for those. In terms of Pokemon, these are the 3 most notable ones we got. And the Score Bunny is on here because this actually has the hidden ability Libero, or Libero, however you pronounce it, which changes the Pokemon's type to the type of the move it's about to use, which is actually pretty good, so we may end up making something out of this at some point. So that will be fun to play around with. That's actually our second hidden ability starter. And then of course we got the Lugia, and we got the Zygarde. So 2 legendaries we didn't have. The Lugia especially is very rare, so happy to have gotten those. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.